Allen Iverson and the pandering that keeps going on with Angel Reese. I mean, these, and look, I get, for a 6'3" basketball player, Angel Reese is attractive. I'm grading her on a scale.
Curve.
But they're a curve, yeah, on a curve. I'm sorry, but they're acting like she's, Pam Grier in her prime, Halle Berry in her prime. The level of simping for this woman with fake eyelashes and fake hair and eyes that are a little bit too far apart, and a tiny bit of a mustache when her makeup isn't done right. It's like Allen Iverson, Shaq, everybody is like, oh, Angel Reese, my God, this level of pandering. So Allen Iverson was a spokesman for Reebok, and now Angel Reese is the top spokesman, I guess, for Reebok. Good luck with that. But anyway, Allen Iverson made this statement during a magazine interview talking about Angel Reese and trying to hype her up. Iverson says that Reese, one of the WNBA's brightest stars, is the modern day answer to making Reebok cool again. Quote, I love everything about her. I love what she stands for. She reminds me of my little sister. She's dope to me. She reminds me of myself, hoop-wise, and on a personal level, too. He's calling her a drunk, gambling degenerate on a personal level, because that's what Allen Iverson was. And then on a hoop level, this guy was one of the most skilled hoopers, slashers to the rim, jump shot, handles out the world. Unless she's a drunk, degenerate gambler, I don't know what they have in common.
There's some irony here, because he really is describing Caitlin Clark on the court. He is.
Yes. Yes.
He could have. I don't know who he's talking about here. If you didn't tell me it was Angel, I'd been like, man, Caitlin's got some problems off the court I didn't know about.
Steve, your thoughts on Iverson pandering?
He has no choice.
Let's keep it real.
There's a couple of pressures. There's the corporate ties. There's also the cultural pressure. Because if he doesn't say those things, he's going to get drugged. And quite frankly, I don't think Allen Iverson wants that in his life. And I don't really blame him. And again, he's being a team player. Doesn't he have stake in Reebok? Doesn't he have like this deal that kicked in at age 40? So I kind of get it. I don't think anyone takes this seriously. Come on, let the answer be. He laid it out there on the court.
Couldn't he just say her attitude, her rebellious attitude, and don't give a F spirit, that reminds me of me. That we're both rebels, we're both counterculture, but hoop-wise, this woman can't make a layup.
But she can rebound her own missed layups really well. Steve's right. He gets $32 million when he turns 55. He's got a trust fund.
Yeah.
This is a lifetime contract. He's just going to say and do whatever he can to make sure this money grows.
But he could say something more authentic than hoop-wise.
Yeah.
She reminds me of me.
She reminds me.
Attitude-wise, everybody would agree.
Yeah, she reminds me of Dennis Rodman without the colorful hair. Like its stuff doesn't play quite as well.
I think Dennis Rodman had more self-awareness. I think, because the other day when I gave Angel Reese credit for playing within herself, she turned around the next game and shot the ball 13 times, 4 of 13 from the field, 1 of 9 in the first half.
But Jason, if she doesn't shoot, her rebounds go way down.
That is true.
Rebound.
No, there's truth to that. Yeah, they're calling them me-bounds. Yeah, but they are, that is true. I don't think she's had a double-double in her last 2 or 3 games because she has been shooting less. But look, I don't think Angel Reese, and I'm saying this in all seriousness, she's not going to work as a brand spokesman for Reebok or anybody. The longer this goes on, people can't resist. It's too funny. Black people aren't caping up. They're making videos mocking her. I just saw one the other day on IG of a guy pretending to be Angel Reese, and I think they called it 0 for 30 instead of 30 for 30. He called it 0 for 30. Angel, I don't think we've ever seen this where someone that starts out with this kind of hype and ends up a laughing stock, but that is where she's headed. The jokes are too easy. They crack themselves. People can't resist them.
In a lot of ways, I don't know if this is a perfect analogy. It's like Milli Vanilli. They were a hit. I enjoyed their album. I still listen to them, can't lie. But once they were found out to lip sync, they became a national punchline. So, and everyone that didn't really watch a lot of women's basketball, which is 98% of the country, they thought Angel Reese was good based on what they heard. They actually, wow, she must be really productive, kind of a Karl Malone. Then they actually see her and they're like, oh, this. So this is what it's become. This is her, Milli Vanilli.
The framing's a little bit unfair because the hype was always manufactured. Like anybody who watched her, just like Steve's saying, knew that she could not make a basket. This was already like well known to anybody who turned on a television and watched.
No. Again, you got to say when. Now, in college, it went over people's heads. And again, because I'm stupid and I watch so much, that's why I was able to say, like, hey, man, I don't know if this is going to translate to the WNBA. There are going to be other big girls who are athletic, and she's not going to be able to get this shot off. Most people, though, in college, you couldn't see how unskilled she was, and you couldn't see. And then I can remember when she put out the video before the draft, this is right, of her shooting three-point jumpers. I'm like, oh, I was like, she's trying to convince NBA scouts or WNBA scouts who are like, hey, man, this girl's got no offensive game, and she thinks putting out this little video of her hitting unguarded three-pointers was going to convince somebody that she's an offensive player. But I think most people have been shocked by how bad she is offensively. And then just remember, like early on, I got ripped for calling her the most unskilled basketball player I'd ever seen. And this was early in her WNBA, and people were like, that's crazy. And now everybody agrees with me.
They do. Here's what I would say. She played against Carmela Cardoso.
Yeah.
And that's when the light went off for anybody who's ever spent any time watching.
Talking about in college.
In college. And you're like, oh, there's a tall person. And she has no idea what to do. Everybody knew it the second you watched that.
Well, you just keep in mind, everybody knew it. Most people didn't watch that. They watched Caitlin Clark games. And so, yeah, they casually watched South Carolina, LSU, but not like if Caitlin Clark, if Carmela Cardoso had played for Iowa and they had really been focused in, I think more people would have called on. Most people, and again, the Carmela Cardoso deal was when the light bulb went off for me, but I'm an idiot. I watch. Most people didn't watch.
You baited me into it too. I watched it too.
Yeah.
But all I'm really trying to say is it was manufactured hype in reality. She was never doing anything special. It was obvious. You could see that Caitlin Clark was doing things that would translate. Everybody knew this. There was no, everybody thought, okay, she's going to be Rookie of the Year. She could be MVP in her first year. And by the end of the year, a lot of people were upset that she wasn't, even though Angel Wilson.
Yeah.
And so it was manufactured. Did anybody think she would be this bad? Because there is something, too. You know this as somebody. When you lose your confidence, and she so obviously has, you play so far below what you're actually capable of. Like, you should be able to hit 2-footers. Her whole life, she's been able to hit 2-footers. She's missing wide open layups for people that she's a foot taller than, and it doesn't matter because she's lost all of her confidence and now she thinks she's bad.
I do think she's lost confidence, but I hitting 2-footers over midgets and people with no athleticism, and that's most of the competition in women's college basketball, is a lot easier. It's just a lack of skill. Whoever let her get out of junior high shooting the ball, and I can remember talking about it on the show. It's like she's shooting the ball from her hip. That's how a child shoots, not a 6'3" skilled basketball player. Don't miss a second of Fearless. Hit that like button and subscribe to keep up with our latest content.